Recently, there's been a disturbing rise in anti-Semitic rhetoric and attacks on Israel from certain elected officials, and an even more disturbing effort to excuse it. To discuss this trend, we welcome scholar, author, columnist, and America's Rabbi, Shmuley Boteach. I want to begin, first of all, just saying I never have recalled that anti-Semitic language was used by members of Congress and essentially glossed over. What's happened to create this?
Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, they've broken ceilings that are extremely dangerous because they are making anti-Semitic rhetoric almost normative. Ilhan Omar not only uses anti-Semitic tropes, anti-Semitic accusations, Jews control the world with their money, and Jews buy off elected officials. Amazingly, she almost quotes verbatim from some of the most vile anti-Semitic tracts. For example, her famous comment that Israel hypnotizes the world. We looked that up. Hypnotizes the world. That's a strange comment. It comes from the Protocols of the Elders of Zion, the infamous Tsarist era forgery that led to so many Jews dying, being murdered through this fraudulent accusation that the Jews are trying to gain global control. And the fact that it's coming from elected officials is extremely disturbing. And Mike, can I also tell you what's even more disturbing is how they hide behind the fact that they are women of color and therefore are being attacked. I have no issue with Ilhan Omar's faith whatsoever. I wear a yarmulke. I celebrate the fact that she celebrates her faith. I see no color in people. I only see the image of God imprinted on people. I have a problem with the fact that she hates Jews, period.
Why do not even the Jewish Democrats in Congress call her out openly and publicly and ask her to recant these statements that I think are harmful? I'm not even Jewish, but to me, these are terrible things to say about Jewish people.
You're not Jewish, but you're an honorary Jew. You're a great friend, supporter, and defender of our people, and just know how grateful we truly are. But I'll tell you why she's not being called out even by Jewish members of Congress, because this is an age where partisanship comes before principle. And it's quite amazing to me that party loyalty trumps even our deepest convictions. The fact is that 75 years ago, 10,000 Jews per day were put into gas chambers, and their lungs were filled with Zyklon B gas, and they were murdered. 1.5 million children. This happened in the lifetime of most of our parents. This is not long ago, and we have to be extremely vigilant when we hear the kind of rhetoric that could, God forbid, demonize the Jewish people yet again. And what Hitler basically said is that the Jews are parasites, the Jews are trying to take over the world, the Jews are responsible for Germany's defeat in the First World War, and he scapegoated the Jews. So whenever we hear the Jews being scapegoated, Israel today is an occupier, Israel today is guilty of all of the strife and the conflict in the Middle East. Israel today profits off the backs of innocent Palestinians, which is brutalizes. These are all not just lies, they are horrible lies, and they lead to the demonization of the Jewish people. They lead to the cheapening of Jewish life. So let's be clear. Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, they're not just using tropes that are ugly and yet not harmful. They are extremely harmful. Talk about historical revisionism that's going on. When a member of Congress can say that Jesus was a Palestinian, is this some sort of game? First of all, it's insulting to all Christians because the Christian faith bases itself, the New Testament is based on the Hebrew Bible. And so much of Christianity is based on Jewish principles. So it's a fundamental assault even on the character of Christianity, and we don't hear enough of a protest.
The BDS movement, boycott, divestiture, sanctions, been very harmful economically to Israel, but it's also a stupid idea that perhaps hurts Palestinians as much as even more. Why do people in America keep pushing this ridiculous effort that punishes the very people they supposedly are championing?
Make no mistake, Governor, BDS is not an attempt to stand up for Palestinian rights. If it were an attempt to stand up for Palestinian rights, it would punish Hamas for their honor killings against innocent Palestinian women. It would punish Hamas for their assault, their brutal assault on gay Palestinians who have to run to Israel for any kind of protection. And whatever anyone feels about the issue, they are God's children and cannot be murdered. And that happens under Hamas, or BDS would protest the kleptocracy that's been set up by Mahmoud Abbas, who's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, or his predecessor, Yasser Arafat, who died a billionaire. Think about this. The freedom fighter who died a billionaire, whose wife, Suwa, till today lives in a penthouse in Paris. So let's be clear. BDS is about the economic annihilation of the State of Israel. During the Second World War, Winston Churchill was certain that Britain could defeat the Wehrmacht. He didn't fear that Germany could pull off a successful invasion, Operation Lionheart, of the British Isles. He also didn't even fear the Battle of Britain. He believed that ultimately the Royal Air Force could defeat the Luftwaffe. What he most feared was the economic destruction of Britain through the U-boats sinking the merchant marine. So what Israel's enemies are trying to do, having not defeated Israel, on the battlefield, is to starve Israel, to boycott Israel, to ensure that Israel can have no industry, can have no jobs, that Israeli workers cannot pay the electricity bill, can't pay for water and food. That's what BDS is. It's an attempt to annihilate Israel. And only by being clear about what it is and the hypocrisy. Governor, I was debating a very vocal, someone who attacks Israel daily on the news. And he was saying we have to boycott Israel. And then I see him pull out his iPhone. And I said to him, with all due respect, your iPhone's manufactured in China, which has been occupying Tibet since 1951. You couldn't give a darn. Because this isn't about the Palestinians and rights. This is about anti-Semitism. It's Jew hatred, pure and simple.
Well, my thanks to you, Rabbi Shmuley Boteach, for joining us. And I want to tell our audience, you can find out a lot more about this incredible man and his many books, his latest articles online at shmuley.com. It's on the screen, so you spell it right, shmuley.com. You can also find him on Facebook. Look for @Rabbi Shmuley Boteach, and on Twitter @Rabbi Shmuley.